Good afternoon, everyone. So today I will be speaking about the value of learner books. The book I've chosen to speak about is Classroom Mathematics Learner Book for Grade 7. So, putting this book to good use. This book makes it much easier to teach because there are many different side notes that help to make it easier to explain work to the classroom. For example, on page 1 in chapter 1 that is based on whole numbers in this book, there is a note at the bottom of the page that explains the difference between whole numbers and natural numbers. It just tells you that whole numbers are the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And it also just tells you that natural numbers are exactly the same, just that they do not start with a 0 at the front. This learner book also uses many daily examples. These daily examples help because they help learners to understand it, because after seeing these daily examples, they will now go and see these even more in their everyday lives, which will help to understand a topic or a concept more. Just for example, another example based on the same topic in the book, it says we use whole numbers every day, like in barcodes, in distance signs, and in cell phone numbers. Another thing that they have that can be put to very good use is worked examples. There are many worked examples throughout the whole book. For example, we've got example 1 here in the textbook that says instead of BODMAS being addition instead of you using addition before subtraction in BODMAS, you can do whatever comes first between the two. There is an example that says 10 minus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equal to 10 minus 10, and that makes 0, which is wrong. And then there's the correct version below that, which is saying you must do 10 minus 2 first and then add all the 2's to get 16. Lastly, a very important, in my opinion, a very important thing to have in these learner books is an end of chapter activity, which allows students to check their skills on the chapter. This helps the student to see what they understand and don't understand from a chapter, and also which allows you to now help these students on what they don't understand. And another thing is that this textbook, all the activities use Bloom's taxonomy. So now, using the teacher's guide alongside the learner books. In the teacher's guide for this learner book, right at the beginning of the teacher's guide, it tells you how to use this learner's book to get as much out of it as possible. It tells you how to use all the examples to help the students to get better understandings of a concept. It also indicates the term and the week of the school year that you are meant to be teaching a topic in according to the annual teaching plan. One main thing about the teacher's guide and the learner's book going together is that the teacher's guide provides answers for all the activities in the learner's book. And the teacher's guide also provides terminology that is not provided in the learner's book. As you can see down below, I've got an example of two questions that the learner's book has, and two answers to those questions that the teacher's guide has. So now, looking out for bias in the textbook. This learner's book does not have any bias in it. There are no gendered or culturally loaded terms in this textbook. There are no stereotypes used in any word problems throughout the textbooks, and there are many different units of measurement used in this textbook. Using this learner's textbook to promote critical thinking. This learner's book uses Bloom's taxonomy. The questions in each activity throughout the whole book get more and more difficult. The last few questions in each activity creates a need for a student to think critically and think outside the box and not just do what is taught during the lesson. The examples in the textbook give a question and a solution. This allows the students to attempt the question, and if they are unable to do the question, they can look at the solution to see how to do the work. That is all for today. Thank you.